Good morning, evening. We'll make that all work. All right. Well, we got Thanksgiving coming right around the corner. Yeah, we'll, yeah, this one's a tragedy. In terms of what's that?
Yeah, it's all.
Call the order for the work session to the City of Martin, November 26, 2024 order. You've had before you the minutes, so we have the minutes for the regular session on November 12th, the work session for November 12th, and the executive session for November 12th. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Presentation for the police department will be later in terms of speed awareness and things like that from the governor's office. We like that. New business, chief. You want to talk about kind of our challenges with the ambulance and what you want to do?
Go first.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Appreciate the opportunity. So we have two first out ambulances, both of them are 2017s. And I know we don't like to buy stuff that's expensive at the same time, but the ox was in the ditch at the time, and that's what we had to do to make things work. One of them is used more than the other, so it's working out where they don't really need to be replaced at the same time. So with a 2-year wait period from the time we order till we get a new one, I think we should really consider going ahead and placing the order now, and then we'll get it in about 2 years from now. What I'm recommending is going with the same manufacturer that we currently use. They have a great remount program, so this will be the last one. If we continue to maintain 2 and 1 reserve, this will be the last full ambulance we'll have to buy. After this, we can just buy a chassis. We'll send it to the company, and they'll remount the existing box and get a whole new 25-year warranty on the patient box. So it's a really good deal. It's a cost savings of about 30 to 40% over buying a complete ambulance once we get to the remount program. What else? Oh, the good thing as far as budget impact, we don't have to pay anything this fiscal year. They will order the chassis whenever we place the order, but they're so far behind, it won't land on their lot till our next fiscal year. So we'll have to pay for the chassis when it comes in, which is about $50,000. And then the ambulance, we don't have to pay for it until it's ready, which will be the following fiscal year, FY27. We'll have to pay the balance at that time. So no upfront costs. So
I remember when an ambulance used to be a lot less expensive.
yes,
300 grand.
yeah.
Dang. Used to be able to buy a pumper truck for almost that.
Oh yeah. It's gone out of sight.
Remember when? Questions, Ms. Knight,
No questions, Chief.
Mr. Qual,
No questions.
Ms. Dean,
No question.
and Ms. Wynn.
No question.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Resolution, this is one that your employees should appreciate a great deal. Authorizing a one-time holiday payment. Mr. Baker.
Yes, sir. This is resolution 2024-04, crafted in the same model as last year's, and budgeted for the holiday bonus, which is a one-time payment to the employees. The way we broke that down was $1,000 for the full-time employees, $500 for part-time, and $250 for court personnel. On the back, there's an addendum to that based on that criteria for all active employees, 97 full-time bonuses and 11 part-time for a total of 108 employees for a total of 102. Where's my number? 102. I keep saying that. I can't find my exact number on here.
1025?
There you go. That's it.
Perfect. Questions, Ms. Knight,
No questions.
Mr. Qual,
No question.
Ms. Dean,
No question.
Ms. Wynn.
No question.
Sounds like it's gonna look a lot like Christmas.
Yes. Apologize for not having. There it is.
All right.
Right there.
Second reading of the fire protection changes recommended by the city attorney. You've had that. This will be the second reading on that one. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. We want to add, and I want to be very specific about how we added, there's 2 points. So one is, we will officially cancel the December 24th meeting of the city council.
So now I don't have to tell you that I wasn't gonna be here.
Well, everybody's not going to be here, so for those who do want to show up, we'll leave a couple candy canes right there at the door. You're welcome to leave whatever comments you would like, but the rest of us will not be here. So we want to make sure everybody's aware of that. And then there's another item, and, we were able to get a permit that has been pending for a long time through GDOT for roadway maintenance, and they've got a series of bids that you have in front of you. There's one more that's pending. But what we want to be able to do, first let's have Baker just explain it. You want to explain it?
Sure.
briefly?
We basically, this has been since, we mentioned it last meeting, been since March. These are not easy to get from GDOT. But based on the timeliness of this, we solicited four arborist companies, tree removal companies, still pending one of those. There's an array of those that came in at the pricing that you see here. It would basically cut from the sound wall, the undergrowth, all the way up into almost the Harley-Davidson property. So you'd go past that on a 25-foot easement off of the side of the roadway, and then I've also contacted the gentleman who owns the property that has about 26 some odd acres right there where they can cut that as well. He's agreed to do that. We won't pay for that. That's going to be independent of him, but it will also kind of have to be careful of my wording, because I know from permitting that we don't daylight and we don't do line of sight, but it would definitely clear up the visibility for South Lake Mall along that corridor. A lot of that undergrowth that goes up to the creek as well, alongside the property that's right off of the bridge, as well as the bridge area. Be able to cut that down. There's small undergrowth of 2-3 inch diameter, up to a 4-inch diameter along the roadway there. And then there's some replacement ground cover that would be back. This would be grinding, stump grinding and removal of the trees as well. And I would like to ask, because we have the 3 bids ranging from $228,000 to $294,000, I'd like to ask that the council, because of the timeliness of this request, approve an expenditure of no more than $230,000 to do that out of the Public Works maintenance budget. If the other bid does come in a timely manner, reason being they have to have a 2-week lead time to mobilize. So we'd like to get this done prior to the end of the year.
And I'd like to add one thing to that. For those of you who remember the issues we're having with the 2 hotels there. So the stormwater detention in that particular case was kind of forced on the property. That caused damage for a lot of different reasons. One, the land there was worth about $500,000 an acre, and that's what he paid for it. And then he ended up spending about another $300,000 building it. And when you have what they call a site-specific requirement, that means that anybody that would do development further down than that, including, say, Harley-Davidson. So if Harley-Davidson upgraded their facility or modified their facility by 5,000 square feet, they would end up having to have a detention pond in their front yard too. And the lot next to it, and the lot next to it. And on the backside of, one of those pieces is a rather deep, gully, for the lack of a better word. And all of that runs through that before it gets to the creek. That becomes a very natural stormwater detention facility by itself. And if you look at, say, the festival, that's over there, the TJ Maxx property, there's one detention pond in the back. Had that property been broken up, you would have ended up with like 4. So it doesn't make any logical sense. So the idea would be, as we're doing all of this, part of that gets cleared out as well. As we head into the development that we hope we'll have there, we would want to have one detention facility on the back that's not going to take up valuable property, that's not going to hurt anybody. So that's part of our game plan in there as well, in that mix. It's theory until you get it all done, but that's the game plan. Questions, Ms. Knight?
No. I'm fine.
No questions? Mr. Qua?
So roughly how many linear feet that we going to clear, like?
Oh, it may be on one of the bids, I believe, but it was quite an expanser, and it shows if you look at the map on the back of the CMC bid, it will show you exactly where they're looking at doing it along the interstate as well as some of the other parts there along the creek bed. So it shows the entire expanse, if you know, right before it's about a mile.
Okay.
It goes from almost mile marker 232 to 233.
Okay.
At least up against the 25 feet of the roadway along the interstate there. So then also we're also gonna have them do some other considerations along there where you see they come into the properties to take care of some of the undercut brush along the creek bed as well.
Any specific spot that we're gonna pull it from?
It would be the public works maintenance area as well as supplementing the public works maintenance budget.
Okay.
Because Brandon likes to spend his money on that kind of stuff.
Ms. Dean?
So once we get all the paperwork done, they're gonna. Timeframe to start?
They
Are we
need 2
looking
weeks
at-
mobilization time. I would like to give Grizzly at least another day or so. Well, a day, I guess, because we're coming up encroaching on holiday. And then give them the 2 weeks mobilization, give us time to get that done. And they can probably do a little bit quicker in the holiday time. But once they get started, a few days' work, except for the hauling,
Okay.
as quick as possible.
I
Ms.
have a
Wynn?
weed whacker. You
I got my passport and plane ticket.
Ms. Wynn? Sweet. And I will ask the council to put it on the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Wynn. And we'll add it as item number 6, right before we go into general comments. Looks like we're back to coffee time. Got good coffee back there, Victor? All right. We'll see y'all at 7:30. Very, very, very happy.
She's like good inside. Is that her daughter? That's her granddaughter, right? She looks just like her.
So
He's a good job.
let's, to make sure that we're properly following Robert's rules, let's make a motion to add the, new business, number 2, during the public meeting. It was mentioned that.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
And it'll be number 2 on the new business.
Anything that moves, she's looking at it. She's looking at trees. Yeah.
Let's see how fast we can get Fawn to run right there. So. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to call to order the November 26, 2024 Morrow City Council to order. If you'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. And if you could keep in your prayers, there was a little 2-year-old that did pass away today in the city of Morrow. In your prayers, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Item number 1, approval of the agenda. I'd like a motion to add item number 2 under new business. And it's going to be related to the roadway maintenance and upkeep under the special encroachment permit as defined by Mr. Baker in the work session. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qua?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Wynn?
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes. November twelfth, 2024 regular minutes, November twelfth, 2024 work session minutes, November twelfth, 2024 executive session minutes. You've had those before you. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Quah?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Nguyen? Motion carries. Presentations. Mara Police Department recognition of being a recipient of the Speed Awareness and Enforcement Award from the state of Georgia.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'd like to call up my four guys in the traffic unit. If you would, come on up, please. While they're coming up, to give you a little history on the governor's initiative. It's the governor's officer of highway safety. They celebrated their 25th year this year for 2024 for the Governor's Challenge Award. This prestigious event serves as the state's premier law enforcement award ceremony and recognizes state, local, campus, and military law enforcement units for their exceptional work in promoting highway safety through education and enforcement. We had to put together a series of statistics, in other words, back in May. The deadline was May 31st. With the help of Lieutenant Hollywood, who is out sick tonight, we put together all our numbers, our statistics, everything that these four men here have done in the last year, and submitted it to the state. Well, there are 14 different categories based on your department size. We're in category 3, which is 26 to 45 officers. For the year of 2024, these four gentlemen here took third place in our category number 3 for the Governor's Cup Award. Unfortunately, we didn't win the Governor's Cup since they did in 2009 as the last time that we applied for this, and I think Mr. Baker was chief then. 2025, we will have the Governor's Cup. We will have first place. Not only did they take third place in our category, they also took first place in speed awareness for the whole state. Now, the speed awareness, I believe the speed awareness award is probably the better of the two, because what that does is it educates the public on speed and how it kills. Our fatality rate has went down in the last year on the interstate, and I hope this next coming year we have 0 on the interstate. So with their dedication and their hard work, I want everybody to give them a round of applause again. Senator Barfield, this your group? What you got to say?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm really proud of what we've done. Just in the short time that we've had a traffic unit here, we've come together, really quick, and obviously we have something to show for it. And honestly, none of that would be possible without what these guys do every day. It's just, perseverance and just pushing through and always hitting the mark. And I couldn't ask for better guys to be on the unit. I appreciate it.
Not everybody realizes that speed limits are based on braking distance, hence public safety and life safety. We started here, Chief Crumpler and I, August the 24th of 2022. The first week of September, I received a phone call from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety asking me why we were not on the interstate, that they had statistics, they had statistical information. They had shown that every 90 seconds, a vehicle was traveling 100 miles an hour through our city, north and south. I said, well, send me some state troopers, because we only have 2 officers on the street. So let this be a testament to our legislative body and executive portion and our leadership that we so greatly possess, that we were able to formulate a specialized unit to save lives. It's not to write tickets, it's to save lives. Okay, so speed kills, and they're out there saving lives. I just wanted to make that point. Thank you.
Usually that speech starts with, would you roll down the window, sir? Excellent job, guys, ladies. All right, new business, consideration to approve Morrow Fire Department recommendation to use a single source procurement process to purchase a new ambulance from Excellence for $294,946, and to basically get the process moving. You've had that before you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded, Doug. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qual?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Nguyen? Excellent. Resolution 2406, authorizing a one-time holiday payment as defined by Mr. Baker.
Don't forget tree removal. New business.
You're gonna add that one there? Okay, no problem. On tree removal, we wanna word this one properly, so this is one that we had. And it's related to, you know, the bids that we received, and we want to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement for roadway maintenance and upkeep regarding GDOT Special Encroachment Permit 063011223-7 in an amount not to exceed $230,000. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qual?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Nguyen?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Resolution 2404, resolution operating, basically a one-time holiday payment that's in the budget to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver any documents necessary to carry out, basically a holiday bonus, if you will, as we know it. In legal terms, it's written some other way. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qual?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Nguyen?
Aye.
Motion carries. Ordinance to amend 2407, second reading. Ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinance of the City of Morrow to amend Section 4.234, Article C, Fire Protection System, Fire Prevention Protection. You've had that before you. This is the second reading. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Motion properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Ms. Knight?
Aye.
Mr. Qual?
Aye.
Ms. Dean?
Aye.
And Ms. Nguyen?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have department head presentations, what I heard.
That is correct, and I believe the police chief was jumping ahead there, so you get first in line. Chief Crumpler, if you'd like to do the That's all strategic. You don't have to be first in every.
Good evening. Thanks for having us here. This is accomplishments by in the last couple of months by the police department. Excuse me. In October of 2024, City of Morrow suffered a string of smash and grab burglaries by an on-foot perpetrator. That's when we did the 1 month of working morning watch to catch these guys. Burglary suspect began burglarizing businesses using a vehicle in another neighborhood jurisdictions. The Morrow Police Department Criminal Investigation Division was able to identify the vehicle, and a few days later conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle identifying the perpetrator. This is the perpetrator where I ended up hurting my leg chasing after him. CID was able to place the perpetrator in custody, was given a full confession for all 6 burglaries, including one in Lake City. CID obtained 10 felony warrants for the perpetrator. The perpetrator also confessed to all the burglaries and identified 2 additional people in the car burglaries that we were having throughout the metro Atlanta area. In November of 2024, while searching for a stolen vehicle out of the city of Morrow, Detective Ramos spotted the vehicle off Old Rex Morrow Road. Occupants of the vehicle exited the vehicle and ran when they observed Detectives Ramos following them. After a 30-minute search of the area, both occupants were located. After the occupants were ran for warrants, both came back with warrants for homicide out of the Atlanta Police Department. Due to Detective Ramos' productivity, the 2 dangerous individuals were taken off the street and the vehicles were returned to its rightful owner. And that was a Morrow resident that had their vehicle stolen and returned to them. Finally, we have officially, as we told you the last council meeting, we started a crime scene unit. Now we'll have faster response times to in-house crime scene. Units can respond immediately to incidents without waiting for the county resources, reducing the potential evidence contamination or loss. It'll be tailored to the department's needs. A dedicated unit can prioritize cases specific to our jurisdiction, ensuring no delays caused by county resource allocation to other jurisdictions. Enhanced investigative continuity. Internal crime scene technicians can collaborate more seamlessly with investigators, fostering a better communication on the case. Flexibility in operations. Our department's own unit can adapt quickly to unique situations without adhering to county protocols or bureaucracy. And skill development. Building in-house expertise enhances the department's overall capabilities, contributing to better case resolution and officer training. And finally, community trust, which is probably the most important. A visible, specialized local unit can strengthen public confidence in the department's ability to handle crimes efficiently and effectively. So those are all things that are tied into CID, but they're all really tied to the community. Every one of these crimes were committed in our community, and we ended up solving all of them with the help of CID and everybody who volunteered to work crazy hours. It was, I mean, this is the second time that we've done this, and both times it came out correct, so pretty proud of the department.
Good job, Chief.
Appreciate it.
I have no idea who's up next.
Save the best to last. All right, where are we?
Please help him. You know what he does to the internet.
Swipe left, right?
Yes.
All right, good evening again. This is a picture of where we went down to BC Haney Elementary last month to do their career fair. Stayed down there 2 or 3 hours. They wanted us there all day, and I said, no, that's not gonna work for us, but we did go down for a couple hours and talk to the kids about becoming firefighters and EMTs. So I kind of struggled to find a challenge this time, but anyway, the challenge I identified was the blood drive that we always have every 8 weeks. They always are in the community room, and I found out like 2 weeks beforehand that the early voting was going on. So panicked a little bit, but I called Amani down at the Morris Center, and she made accommodations for us. So took care of that, and Lana's not here tonight, but she stepped up again like she always does to volunteer for the blood drives, and we made it work. We ended up having 9 walk-ins even at the Morris Center with hardly any advanced advertising at all. And we collected 16 units of blood, so that was awesome for our community to do that. Accomplishments: firefighter Kevin Contreras got his paramedic about 2 weeks ago. The test is crazy tough, and most people don't pass on the first attempt, but he did. So we're very proud of him. That's a great addition to our service we offer. Paramedic is about 1,800 hours of classroom, 500 clinical hours. They do that all on their own time. And I want to thank the mayor and council for approving the pay for the class out of our budget. He's a success story from that. So again, thank y'all for doing that. So that's all I've got on that. I would like to add on the 2-year-old that died, please keep our staff in your prayers as well. They took it pretty hard, as well as some of the police officers. Woody was the first one there and started CPR, and we took over from that. But I went to the hospital, and they worked on the kid about 30 minutes there. But yeah, my crew's pretty tore up about it, so remember them too, please. Thanks.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. The biggest challenges we had this past month was Christmas setup. In the past, we've had a company come out and set our big Christmas tree up. Well, this year we did it ourselves. What we didn't know is we had no directions. So we had to go off of pictures and what they call directions on setting this tree up. It is complete now. We've got everything up and ready to go. All the lights are on it. Everything's been reprogrammed. It looks good, but you'll have to wait and see it at our Christmas in the Park. We've got decorations up around the city. We've installed garland all around the district. All the light poles have garland on them, the bridge entrances, everything that can have garland on it, we've put garland on there. We've got Christmas trees here set up in the front of City Hall. We've got decorations a little bit everywhere. What I did last year to make things a little bit easier for us this year was I had a drone shot from above the district with all the Christmas ornaments in place. I had actually gone out there, labeled out all the power diagrams. So each one of these red lines here has a number to it. As the guys go out there and set everything up, they can look at the diagram, know exactly where it goes. Same thing goes with the ornaments. So that made it a lot easier for us this year. When we take our tree down this time, we're gonna label everything as well. That way we know where it goes. That way next year when we put this thing up, it goes together a lot faster. All the lights will be on at 4 p.m. tomorrow and stay on until January 1st. And like I said, we're gonna make sure we label everything on that tree so it goes a lot easier. One thing I did want to bring up too, that the leaves are falling. We are currently sweeping the streets in the city. They're doing it right now this week. They're sending me a list each month on the streets that they hit, which is every street in the city. One accomplishment we did some landscaping work down there at Reynolds Road. Got all the irrigation systems put in, everything's working, everything's looking nice and pretty. The solid set is taken in place. Everything looks real good down there. That's it.
I have a question for the mayor.
Brandon?
Yes.
How often, will the street sweepers,
They come through each street once a month.
once a month?
Once a month.
Okay. So if a street is missed,
If you'll call me, I will make sure I look at the list and see if it's missed. They've got GPS that they route and they send that to me.
okay, all right.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Comments from our citizens?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. No comments? That's good. Comments from the city council? Miss Knight.
Congratulations to our police department, always operating in excellence. We appreciate you all. We appreciate you all. We appreciate you all, for sure.
Mr. Qua.
I'd like to say congratulations to police department and thank you to all city staff for what they do all year long for our city. And you're getting better and better every year. Exciting. And I truly appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Miss Dean.
Can I go last?
You can go last. Miss Wynn.
Tonight is a testimony of showing our appreciation to our staff, all the departments, because of the Christmas bonus. We show it through action, not just word of appreciation, but hopefully that you can use that bonus with your family in the holidays. Thank you for everything you do on behalf of our citizens.
I'll pick up right before Dorothy does. You know, this morning, if you didn't attend the Smart City concept, you know, where the city manager and your staff, but primarily your city manager, you know, went through the effort over time to be able to get a company to work with us, to be able to install like a fiber optic backbone to eventually tie into the main things in Atlanta. Doesn't sound like a big deal. It's not very flashy because it's all buried in the ground, you know. But the closest I can put to it is basically, you know, a sewer system. You know, when you have an outhouse, you don't really worry about it, you know. But when you need to flush something and it works, you know, and you have extra capacity, now suddenly it makes sense, right? So we all, not everybody in this room, some of the younger ones won't remember, but, you know, for those of us who remember AOL service, you know, where, you know, and we had a very old system, and it was very dial-up. You know, that is the equivalent of what you have today versus what they're looking at for tomorrow. You know, and we may not all be here at some point when artificial intelligence and everything kicks in. But you're gonna have an appreciation that somebody went through the effort to make sure that your city had it. So you could do medical records, you could do engineering records, you can do these other things almost live time. And this is not only a scope of where it's at. That technology exists today, but you don't have the ability to pull it up fast enough. So that's really, you know, a great thing, and hats off to the city manager for being able to make that happen. We will cancel the December 24th meeting, so we won't have that. So we will be here on December 10th. You know, as the fire chief had stated, you know, sometimes, you know, everything looks like a movie, and then you see tragedy happen right before your very eyes. You know, with the young child this morning, you know, and it reminds you that this is real. You know, that real stuff happens to real people, and that our own citizens ultimately, but our own employees, you know, have to, you know, walk into the face of danger, walk into the face of tragedy, and then ultimately come home, and it's hard to shake that off. So, because you're human, you have empathy. So we all of those folks are in our prayers. And then happy Thanksgiving. You know, this is it's a cool thing to be thankful for a lot. Certainly I am. And we wish each of you and your families well as well. Ms. Dean.
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to say congratulations to the officers that are out there every day with us, for us, and to our staff there. I think we have the greatest staff to do the jobs that we have for them to do, and I really appreciate what all of you all do for us. The mayor gave Mr. Baker a handsome compliment today. I think the world is changing, so I mean, bravo to
Thank
the
you,
mayor.
Mr. Baker.
But I'd like to, is he blushing there? I guess he is. But my reason for going last is that I do have a comment, and my comment is a public comment. And I'd like to make this comment in order to set something that's been on my mind and been in my life for a few months. And what I really want to talk about is reputation. For me, and I believe for so many other people, our reputation is really the only thing that we really own. We have houses, we have cars, we have material things, but we have a reputation. And that reputation is our lifetime work. It's our legacy of our contribution to our lifetime and our legacy. So for me, my reputation as an elected official is something that I take very serious. I am serving for my second term, and it has really taken a great deal of my life to really commit to this position and to the citizens and the city. It's something that when I take an oath, I take it serious, and I'm committed to that oath. So I had my reputation come into question in November of 2021. I was accused of a campaign violation. That campaign violation was filed with the Secretary of State Board of Elections. That claim or that accusation at that time was filed with candidate Hugh Wynn. I had no knowledge of this accusation that had been filed against me. Moving forward to the council retreat in 2024, Councilwoman Wynn, at that time, Councilwoman Wynn gave an apology for accusations, an accusation that she made based on information that she said was given to her by someone, you know, that she knew. I didn't know at that time that there was an accusation against me filed. So I didn't think anything about it until September of 2024. I received a letter that summoned me to appear before the Board of Elections at the Secretary of State's office with an accusation of campaign violation. This, I'd say, rocked my world, because I take my oath very seriously. And I take serving the citizens and the city very seriously. So I received 3 letters. One letter to appear on September 26th. That was canceled. They sent another letter for October the 8th, which I responded to. I went and was there for 9 o'clock in the morning. Was there for 6.5 hours. Finally, my name was called. I stood up and I spoke my name, and the board chair asked, why was I there? And I said, because I was summoned to appear because of an accusation. I was told that I was not on the agenda. It must have been an error. And so I replied, I said, I received 2 letters in the mail summoning me to appear, and the clerk just called my name. So I must be somewhere in your system. My name must be in your system somewhere. So I was again told by the chair, well, we don't have you on the agenda, so it must be a mistake. So I said, okay. I later contacted the clerk of the board and asked for an open records request, and also that I get a letter from them stating that that accusation they had no merit, they had no evidence, they had nothing in the system saying that I had been accused of something. So I was sent the open records request, and it had nothing on there that was in the report. Also, I asked for the letter of an explanation on the false accusation. I received that letter, which is also, I asked to their state exonerated me from any false accusations or claims that I had violated any campaign rules. And that restored my reputation, because this is the first time that I've ever had my name brought up by Secretary of State for any violation. And I wanted to say to Ms. Nguyen that the reason I am making this public statement is to let it be known that the Secretary of State Board of Election exonerated me on any and all claims of false accusations, and my reputation has been restored. To the citizens of Morrow, to whom I hold in high regard, it is important to me that you know I have always and will always serve and represent you and the city with the utmost respect and dignity. Hugh, I hope going forward that you'll remember a person's reputation is their legacy. And any one of us who has taken the oath of office have to operate under a different set of rules and circumstances. I do. And I expect that to be with the council here. And the oath means a lot to me. When I take that oath, I try to follow that oath to the best of my ability. To be accused of violation of something as important as a campaign violation. I know the rules. I follow the rules. I make sure that I don't disregard those rules. Going forward, any accusation, please be sure that it's not hearsay, that it is actual witnessing by yourself. I would appreciate that. And one last thing I would like to mention is that when we had the retreat, it takes me back to that apology that you made for that accusation, and I did not know. I feel that there was the opportunity and ample time to retract that statement with the Secretary of State that would have prevented any of that to happen. It would have been a in good faith act if you had done that. And I would have really maintained a certain level of respect. So I would just appreciate that going forward, that we can understand what it means to make accusations. They're always, you may not know, but when you accuse someone that is not guilty of doing something, it changes a lot. It changes a lot. So I would like to say to the citizens, thank you. I am here to serve. I will continue to serve in the manner that I hold in high esteem with the city. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. I think we'll just leave it at that. Meeting adjourned.